Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this first look map tour with me, CWATTYESO, in Farming Simulator 22, where we're going to be looking at the Tranquil Waters map by Stevie. Now this is a very early look at the map from the test version of the map that I have been testing with Stevie. So the finished product may differ a little bit from what you're about to see, but I can't imagine it's going to change massively. I'm just running around the house here at the farm currently. I've loaded up the game at the moment in new farmer mode, just so I can show you guys what you start with in the preferred game mode. That you should probably start in. So coming out of the house, first thing you're going to see in front of you is the horse pasture, horse stable, and I don't have any horses in it. I have, however, parked a mower in there, which is not part of the starting fleet. That is part of my testing equipment, because there's a lovely grass field right next to the horse pasture, which you start with in new farmer mode, and you can have a bit of a play around with. Coming then into the main farm, you have got on your right two of Stevie's cow pens, slightly modified, obviously, as you may have come to expect if you've played any of Stevie's recent maps in the game. So, for example, what you will find is these cows eat a different combination of food. They do not consume the regular TMR, hay silage, grass combination of food, but you are required to give them some additional items to keep them healthy. Plus, on Stevie's map, the cows eat their food in parallel, so you need to provide everything to the cows, all three types of food, for them to be 100% healthy, 100% productive. As a result of that, there's a little production machine out here for making mineral feed. Mineral feed is one of the big key ingredients in keeping your cows fed and healthy. In some of Stevie's previous maps, like the one I'm currently playing, Ringwoods, the only way to obtain mineral feed was to buy it, and obviously it's incredibly expensive. Now there is a way of producing it locally on the farm. However, you are going to need to plant quite a few different crops. We'll cover that in a few moments time. Over here, between the two cow pens, we have got Stevie's milk homogenizer. So this converts your regular cow milk into the lovely long life version, which, when you come to sell it, gets you a little bit more money, makes you a little bit more profit. And again, second cow pen on the map, exactly the same as the other one. However, this one does come with the manure pit, the manure silo, as well as the digestate and manure storage bin, storage silo, so you can put your slurry, digestate, manure in here for storage. Something definitely to consider, because certainly for me on Ringwoods, this thing fills up very quickly, because your pig pens and both cow pens all feed into that one manure heap. So yeah, that gets full very quickly when you've got lots of animals. Over here, silage bunker. Big silage bunker here at the farm. Everyone should be very happy with that for making silage. Then we've got, obviously, sheepy pen over here for putting your sheeps in. And Stevie's had a bit of a rejiggle around with things, so the pallet spawn point over here. Again, nice pasture, nice big area. Again, very useful. Obviously then, in the middle of the farm, as you come in, we've got the big silo, massive multi-fruit silo complex with your unload and load point on this side, on the main road through the farm. You've got your farm supplies, your buy point for all your seeds, fertilizers, things like that, located right here. Behind that, we've got the first of the 2 pig pens on the map. So 2 nice pig pens. Behind the silo, we've got all of Stevie's little production pack mods, which are included in the map. So you don't need to install and run the production pack separately. You've got a compost mixer, silage mixer, grass dryer, pig food mixer. Also over here now, we have got a brand new machine for doing chopped sugar beets. So yes, all your sugar beet harvests, when you bring those in, you can chuck them in here and this will produce chopped sugar beet for you, which is very nice. So again, got the two lovely little pig styles. Behind the pigs, we have got dumping sheds, again storing of root crops. We've got object storage and shed. So again, all your pallets, unloading stuff. And obviously pallet storage that Giants added to the game in a recent update. We've got the windrow sales, again for selling your straw, hay, grass, silage, sugar beets, bales. That's all located here. Then you've got a couple of obviously the Stevie production mods. We've got the lime production. Bring your collected stones here, turn them into lime that you can put on the fields. We've got seed maker for producing your own seed. And we've got a fertilizer maker producing your own fertilizers. All very handy to have here at the main farm. We've got the fuel tank, fuel storage tank here for refueling your vehicles. And then we've got obviously the big massive sheds. We've got the wash bay, including jet washer. We have. And we have got more big sheds. So plenty of big sheds for storage. Got chicken coop round the back here. The chickens. Eggs obviously spawn here. Okay, ladies and gents, sorry about that. Just had to put a little bit of a cut in the video there because the day got away from me quite a bit. So I've had to have a little bit of a break for a few hours. I've just come back, finished recording this first look view. And of course it's now also thundering and lightning outside, so a bit risky having the PC on at this moment in case the power disappears on me, but hey ho. So again, sheds over here opposite the chicken pen, which is next to another big shed over here with lots of vehicles parked outside. You will find in your actual playthrough that when you start the game in New Farmer, these sheds do have equipment in them for you to use. However, I being me, sell off all the stuff that I wasn't planning on using. Okay, so as we head back across the north, towards the north of the farm, we find our greenhouses located over here. And we've also got a couple of the beehives. And of course, honey is being produced and collected nicely over here. So yeah, couple of greenhouses to start with. Very nice. And that concludes the tour of the farm, pretty much. With the obviously only other thing being near the house here is the water trigger for getting your water for when you need to feed your animals and stuff. And that is here. Now, the only other important thing that has to be said about the current, this map relates to this area of the farm that my character is walking on right now. You will notice on the ground texture, especially as you look into the distance there, that there is a slightly different colour of gravel. Looks almost like tyre marks running through the farm. But it is a different texture and colour of gravel. This is by design, ladies and gents. This is what Stevie has put in to indicate where the AI traffic spline, vehicle spline, is located. Okay? So what that means is, on this lovely, you can see from the actual tyre marks of the vehicle that I have recently driven through here, okay, that there is a definite clear path through this farm location, running all the way to the path on this side. And what that is, or what that does, is allows you to go into the menu, obviously. Wait for the little auto-save thing to finish off. Go into active workers, create a job, you know, send a vehicle, send a truck somewhere on the map, or send a vehicle somewhere, and have it get there. So, for example, let's jump into my little truck here. He has got some stuff on him. What happens, I'll show you. So, for example, we want this truck, spin him round, but say we want this truck to go to, and we're going to create the job, and we just want him to go to a point somewhere. I'll choose the main road over here. Okay? And we'll start the job. And what the AI driver is going to do is he's going to locate that pathway, and he's going to drive along it. Okay? And this, like I say, this path runs from the road leading into the farm. So the road that runs down here basically comes through the farm and then onto the road that runs down towards the south. Okay, and that node is like in the map. What Stevie has told me to make very clear in this sort of first look video to everybody is that when you play this game, do not place and build objects on that spline. Okay? Right now, obviously, in new farmer mode, the farm's pretty much laid out. However, if you load the game up in Farm Manager or New Farmer, and you don't have any buildings and you're going to build your own farm, remember that spline is there. Because if you... Well, first of all, you'll get a message when you're trying to place objects that you can't place object, because it collides with something. Okay? And you'll be wondering to yourself, well, what's it colliding with? There's nothing there. Your object you're trying to place is colliding with the traffic node. So then, temptingly, what most people would probably do is enable the place anywhere mode, the free build mode, and go and slap the object down anyway. If you do that, what will happen is, whenever you try to send an AI helper anywhere on the map, they're going to get stuck trying to drive through the object that you have placed on their spline to keep the spline free. And look, the little worker, he manages to get out the farm okay, even with a double trailer such as this one. He manages to make it. And whilst we're out here, we might as well have a bit of a look at the map. So, for example, we can see big placeable area on the bridge as we come over the river here on Tranquil waters. And we've got a grain elevator, grain mill, and farmer's market situated over here. We've got the animal dealer. Okay. Nice fields. I have been out here doing harvesting, look, on some of these fields as part of my map testing. So I have been working the fields diligently. Again, sell points nicely located around the map. Again, a lot of the triggers have been tested by myself during the course of the testing weekend that I did the other day. Last weekend. We got the dairy, obviously, over here as well for your productions. Nice big dairy building. Again, sugar mill over here and spinnery. Okay. Lots of sell points. You've also got the like the oil refinery place. You've got the raisin factory there. Got the oil processing plant. Well, you've got the oil plant with the little thing there for getting your crude oil, which you can refine in the biodiesel factory and produce several products. Nice little tree area. A few trees. Got my little baler down here because I've been doing some bales as well, because I tested the bale triggers and selling bales on the map, make sure all that was okay. I harvested quite a lot of these fields. Again, more sell points. You've got the like oil factory over here on the right hand side. Again, another big selling complex, selling everything. And then obviously a few other little sell points intermixed and intermingled. Got your potato processing and washing and steaming and cleaning factory over there. So all that stuff that we've come to know and expect on Stevie's map is all built in New Farmer. I will load the game up in a moment in start from scratch, that everybody can see what we get. But as you can see, plenty of fields. I'm just driving the loop at the minute, which is the route that the AI traffic take round the map, and it does run all the way around the map on this map. For the AI, they do go in in both directions, so they drive in both lanes all the way around the map. But down here we're coming up to the train station, where you can load the train and sell your product via the train, up here on the right hand side. And I have tested the train, and the train works, and selling products via the train is perfectly fine. We've then got the main store, where you can come and buy all your vehicles and lease equipment and borrow equipment. And then we've got obviously more sell points over here. Even drive around the back this time. Not actually driven around this way in my testing. You got things like the compost factory over here. You've got the biodiesel factory. You've got the big BGA complex that Stevie puts into his maps here, with silage bunkers galore. And then we come back on the river. Again, you've got your little town here with various different shops and items and objects, but I'm going to go this way because I want to go back over the bridge back to the farm. Nice little church there. Again, quite a lot of sell points, a lot of places to sell all your stuff that you will be farming and producing. We'll go and take another little bit of a look. Back over the second bridge, the southern bridge, and then this will lead us into the southern entrance to the farm. Collectibles are on the map as well, quite a few of them scattered and dotted around. Did find a few of them around the main farm in my testing. Did find a couple that were in slightly weird places, and Stevie has fixed and adjusted those. Ready. So like I say, the map is really, really, you know, well on its way to being released. And I think the plan of Stevie's is still to release this on the 1st of July via his Facebook page and his YouTube channel. The download links will be in his YouTube video for the map. Like I say, nice little drive back to the farm. I think my trailer is full of wheat that I harvested from one of the fields. So it probably wants dumping in the silo. And there's my quad trailer that I was using as well for testing. And believe it or not, ladies and gents, but the quad trailer that you see there, driven by the AI, will navigate the map quite happily without crashing into anything, without gliding, getting stuck on anything. And it does also fit into a lot of the sell point. So don't be afraid of going large on this map with equipment, folks. It will take it. So back at the farm. Right. Well, let's have a look then at the PDA. Give you an overview. So, as you can see, quite a lot of fields on the map, with quite large fields being on the left-hand side of the river, and the smaller, medium-sized fields being on the right-hand side, around where the starting farm is. Now, I would like to be able to tell you that you start, obviously, in new farmer mode with the main farm, with field 1, and with field 2. I obviously, for testing purposes, bought the whole map so I could go and test every single field to make sure all the different field work, ploughing, cultivating, seeding, fertilizing, weeding, lime spreading, harvesting, etc. works on every field. Okay? So in new farmer, you start with the grass field, you start with field 2 and the main farm, and then obviously you go from there. There are contracts as well on the map on all the other fields, which I was doing as well in my testing, and all the contracts worked and completed perfectly fine. I even did a couple of potato harvesting contracts on a couple of these fields here, fields 4 and 5, and they were very nice. They paid quite nice money, and there was a lot of potatoes left over for my own usage. Now, over here on the right hand side of the map, there is a place over here for selling wood, which we may not have seen in the map drive round, because you tend to forget about this side of the map a little bit, with everything being more down the bottom here and along the top and down this side. But there are a couple of other interesting little points. For example, there is a workshop garage just over here where you can sell your diesel that you produce on the map, and also repair all your vehicles. And again, like I say, there are collectibles on the map, which is all very nice. Have a hunt round for those, get your free money when starting out. If we have a quick burn up the top of the map here, again, another sell point, Hilltop Grain Mill, and again, nice little area. Again, was able to get in here quite happily with my big trucks and trailers and sell what I needed to sell to test the triggers. That was all good. And then the only other thing to look at down here is you've got the carpentry area, sawmill, and everything all down here in the bottom southeast corner of the map. Okay. Like I say, not... I mean, there is obviously a little bit of loggy area down here for doing your trees and stuff. I know on some of Stevie's recent maps, like Four Lakes and stuff, kind of cut out the logging. And but obviously, so for some people, that like logging, he's added it back. For the people that don't like the logging, it's just, you know, it's not a massive area down here in the bottom corner to worry about. Still got tons of field space. Tons and tons of field space. And again, you've got a few little placeable areas dotted around for your own placeables and things. Maybe not as many placeable areas as on some of Stevie's other maps. So, for example, someone like me playing with the Dragon's Den production pack, it's going to be a bit tight to squeeze everything in and add every type of building to this map. But that placeable area at the top there is quite sizable. Plus, you can always remove the buildings you don't want and sell them off and replace them. So if there is, like, you know, like Stevie's dairy, you know, if you don't fancy that, you can buy it, sell it, and then whack in another one of your own choosing. But that's a look at the map, effectively, as it goes when you load up the game in New Farmer, and you're first starting out. You've got your starting a bunch of equipment, and Stevie covers you for everything in that starting equipment. You've got your mowers for your grass, you've got your harvesters, you've got your seeders, your fertilizers, pretty much everything you need to start working the fields that you've got, plus being able to tackle some of the contract jobs. Obviously there are other bits of equipment you will want to add in time, like for example I've got compost spreader here because this map does support Stevie's compost, and compost, according to Stevie, is one of the cheapest and best sources of fertilizer that you can use. Also, you've got the anhydrous ammonia on the map as well, which can be used in a sprayer. I think I've got a Rubicon parked over here filled with anhydrous, and I've been using that for liquid fertilizer spraying. And again, it gives you an option, gives you other things, because you can produce those materials. I mean, at the farm here, just to go out of the way, we've got a small compost mixer built in, so we could be making compost and producing very cheap, you know, organic fertilizer right from the outgoing. And then obviously later on, once you've got access to the oil refinery and the oil field, you start getting the anhydrous. But yeah, Stevie's pretty much got you kitted out at the main farm. So like I say, New Farmer, everything you see here now is here. This is what you get when you load up the game. What we'll do now is take a quick look at what you get when you start it up in Start From Scratch or New Farmer. Okay, ladies and gents, you will be very surprised to know that when you boot the game up in Start From Scratch mode, which I've just done, you start with 500 grand in your bank account, and you start with absolutely everything on the map. All the sell points, all the farm buildings, all the farm equipment is here. The only thing is, you own none of it. However, you can click on the farm and buy it for a grand total of $0. And once you've done that, you have absolute access to everything. So, got your little collectibles sitting here, quite happily, minding their own businesses. There's a couple more. There's that one there, and I think there's a little piggy hiding somewhere. There it is. So there's a few. There's another one on the little decking area as well, near the Barbie. A little trailer. But yeah, you get pretty much all the equipment, all the buildings in Start From Scratch mode, plus an extra 400,000 quid in the bank. So I'm thinking to myself, you might want to actually start and play this map in Start From Scratch, because you're going to have that little bit of money advantage. Okay. Of course, now as well, I also get to show you the actual starting fleet that you do get in the version of the map that I've got. It is going to be tweaked and changed slightly, I think, by Stevie. There's obviously no water tanker, as I've already mentioned, you to get water for animals and stuff. or transport any serious quantities of liquids or fluids around the map. You can see John Deere harvester. Got your 8RX tractor over here with loading wagon, and out the back here you've got your tippy trailer. You got your tedder, your windrower, another John Deere tractor with the seeder on the back, and one with the bradle. Your lime spreading and fertilizer spreading. You've got your corn header for your harvester over here, and you've also got your mower for doing your grass cutting when you've got grass fields. 9RX obviously has the culti plough on the back. That's all good. All the other buildings are empty, including the ones over here that I opened the doors of in the other part of the video. There isn't actually any equipment in those buildings. Whether Stevie chooses to put any in there or not, I don't know. But the great thing is, as with all of Stevie's maps, there's plenty of storage space for you to put more and more equipment. Okay? But of course, the one thing I was expecting, or like I say, I was expecting, was in start from scratch mode. I didn't expect any of this to be here. And I wanted to demonstrate what would happen, okay, if you did try being a little bit daft and trying to place stuff on the traffic spline. The game will let you, although it does say overlaps with another object, depending on where you kind of place it, it won't let you place it in some places. But what I thought I would do is I would come in, get the old landscaping, get the old painting brush, grab the rock dark texture, start at the north side of the farm. Stevie will hate me for doing this. His lovely, beautiful piece of work that he's made. Basically come down and paint over that traffic spline, just as a reminder to myself or anybody that you do not want to build and place objects on that if you can help it, okay? Because one of the things you can do in this mode, of course, if you want to, you know, you suddenly decide, I don't want to do cows. We'll get rid of the cows. Get rid of that. I'm not going to be doing homogenized long life milk. Get rid of that. We'll get rid of that cow pen too. And we're not going to do mineral feed, because we're not doing cows. Oh, you know what? Whilst I'm in the mood, I'm not going to do pigs, because they get very, very hungry and eat you out of house and home. So I can delete the pigs. And then I can place other buildings and objects. You know, I can place other things that I want to place. I might even decide to make a field here in this space instead. You know? But that's a nice reminder, that is, not to place anything on that. But yeah, in Start From Scratch, like I say, you get access to everything. The farm, all the buildings, all the equipment, and it's going to cost you absolutely $0 to buy it. Now, when you come to actually buy fields, that's when it starts getting a bit pricier. You know, like 2.4 million nearly for that field. Just over 2 million for 17. The forestry area, nearly 700 grand. Field prices, definitely not very cheap on this map. Okay? But as you can see, we do have the advantage of the contract. So you can be working for the AI farmers to earn some income whilst building up your own supplies of things. And also, as you've come to expect with Stevie maps, we have got the addition of alfalfa, carrots, onion, rye, spelt, triticale, millet, hops and poppy as additional crops that you can grow and harvest and manage on the farm, on the map. And some of these items are now actually used within the production system. I know for a fact carrot and onions go into the production of mineral feed, and some of these other items are also included in various different things. I think hops is definitely one as well that is used in a production chain. So yeah, plenty to be getting to grips with on this map. Like I say, a lot of nice fields, good sized fields, no flat fields. Everything's got contours, everything's got hills and dips and hollows and rises. You know, it's all great stuff. And like I say, you have got placeable areas in a few places for putting in additional production buildings if you are running any mod packs or external mod to add things, or you want to add any extras in of certain productions, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, I quite like the map. I quite like the feature with the like I say, the river dividing the map in half and only having the two bridges as your access to either side of the waterway there. Again, like I say, plenty of sell points to cater for everybody's needs. All around the middle of the map. Yeah. I must admit, I've quite enjoyed testing on it. Definitely have enjoyed testing on it, because I put a lot of hours last weekend into testing things. And this is definitely a map that's in my list of candidates for either my next Let's Play series, or I'm going to use it as the next multiplayer map that I start to do fairly soon. Once we've got enough interest from wannabe players that want to play and want to be part of that, and we've got some, you know, confirmed numbers, then I can start to think about, I can get the server rented and hosted, and then we can get the map set up and we can start playing. So yes, I'm definitely looking forward to this. And like I say, all being well, the map should release on the 1st of July. Stevie's obviously just in the final polishing, tweaking, beautifying process of the map now, because all the serious stuff has been pretty much taken care of. So I hope everybody looks forward to downloading this map in a couple of weeks' time when it releases. And like I say, if you want to find the map when it releases, you need to be either following Stevie's Facebook page, or you need to be following Stevie's YouTube channel, because the link to download the map will be in a YouTube video on his channel, ladies and gentlemen. That's where he keeps them now, so that the you know, the third-party scumbaggy websites don't go and steal and re-upload the content. Although they tend to still do it anyway, but at least by putting it in a YouTube video, Stevie gets a little bit of the benefit from the people clicking on the video to steal the links in the first place. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all impressed with the map so far and are looking forward to playing it. Until then, happy farming, ladies and gents. Stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon. Cheerio. Goodbye.